Hello, everyone. We want to take this opportunity to say thank you. As you grow at the Golden Boot, so do our needs, but we cannot do it without you. We ask that you continue to like our posts, share our content, and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, and other social media platforms. You may also visit thegoldenboot.com for the latest merch. If you would like to make a financial donation, you can do so through Cash App at @GoldenBoot or through PayPal at paypal.me/GoldenBoot. We look forward to bringing you more laughs, knowledge, and entertainment. And again, thank you for your endless support. Sincerely and respectfully, the Golden Boot team.
The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole. Hey, welcome back to another edition of the Golden Boot. It's your boy Pooh Bear. I got my man Aunt Petty Murphy in the building. Daniel D. Williams in the building.
What up?
Chef Chris is stuck in the kitchen, won't be with us tonight.
Making honey buns.
Like literally stuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just I'm leaving my boy out of this. But nah, man. But first off, good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well on this fine Thursday night. Got the Bears and Commanders in an exciting game.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
I'm watching Union versus Sterlington. I'm not watching that NFL mess. Shout out to the boy Trey Holly. He already acting the fool. First quarter, he cutting up already.
How close is he to the touchdown record?
If I'm not mistaken, he was like 20 away going in the last week. So I think he had like 3 or 4 last week. So he'll break it in about 4 or 5 games. He might actually pass 10,000 rushing yards in his career. Honestly, he's like 1,000 yards away. So
wow,
that's nuts,
crazy.
Cool.
Yeah, I hope he, you know what I'm saying, hope the press writes up good things about him. Unlike our head man, not Daniel, the other head man, Brian Kelly. The media has been after him like crazy. Stephen A. Smith came out with a story saying that the admins don't like him, fans don't like him, players don't respect him, don't like him. Everybody wants him out. I don't know if this is Billy Napier's press squad putting out stories about Brian Kelly, but yeah, it's not true. But why is the media so hard after Brian Kelly?
I think it's just the continuation of what happened, all summer pretty much since he left Notre Dame, and they was hard on criticizing him pretty hard whenever he left Notre Dame, and now that he has an embarrassing loss, so to say, at LSU, they just quick to say, hey, we told y'all, and I think they just couldn't. When he had a loss like Tennessee, it was gonna come sooner or later. They was all gonna come back out the woodwork. So I think that's all it is.
I think you're right. It ain't nothing but kicking somebody while they're down. You know what I'm saying? And BK got the target on his back, and of course, it's gonna be one of them things where whenever we start winning the game, because we will start winning the game,
they're gonna be quiet.
Yeah, they're gonna be the first ones to, you know what I'm saying, to ride our tip.
They're gonna have it. They're gonna have it.
But yeah.
They're gonna have that Smokey out Friday. When they lose, I'm gonna be talking, but when they win, I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah. Brian Kelly, when he was at Cincinnati, people they praising him, big ups. As soon as he went to Notre Dame, it was like he was the most hated coach.
And if we're being honest, he kind of let's be real.
I ain't gonna say when I say
He ain't
most hated.
he ain't the most likable guy to
Yeah,
begin with.
Yeah,
right. Because I'm gonna be honest. Before he became the LSU head coach, I ain't cared too ish about BK. I'm gonna be real with you. I just didn't. You know what I'm saying? He
the
just came
day,
off.
the day they announced his hiring, I was like, no, why? And then I started hearing more about him as far as like his record.
Yeah,
How quiet it was that Notre Dame reeled off 5 straight 10-win seasons.
right.
And then it's like,
When I heard him talk at the press conference, then I knew that we had us a good coach.
Right.
But I think part of the reason Notre Dame, they never really had, since I can recall, they haven't had a likable coach, so to say. You know what I mean? Like
Well, they had the guy who should talk like this. I can't remember his name.
Well, yeah, that was before I was
talking
born.
Lou Holtz.
Yeah, that was like in
Well,
the 80s. You know what I mean? But like, I mean, you.
I hadn't liked Notre Dame since they got rid of my boy Ty Willingham.
Man, I love Notre Dame.
Even when he was there, he was not like when Charlie Weiss was there, he wasn't liked.
You know what it is? Could it be the Miami and the Notre Dame beef? Could that be something? Well, just thinking about it, because you remember Miami was kind of like the hip team, and then you had Notre Dame was kind of like the college. It was like they were like the Duke of football.
No, I think that was liked back then to a certain extent, but I don't know. I think it depends on what. It depends on where you go. I think too. Like down here in the South, we kind of look at them as like elitists. You know what I mean? Like,
right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And so I think that has a lot to do with it. But I think the further north you go, the more it's seen as a prestigious university. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Jason Brumfield comes into the chat. First off, Jordan, her dad. I mess it up every time, don't I? Hey, dad. My bad.
You don't have to do like a pronunciation thing.
I'm gonna say Jordan. He says go. He was the first comment, and Adam comes in. I'm just here for the if you're not first, your ass content.
Love it.
Yeah. But Jason Brumfield comes in and said Billy Napier ain't swag. Yeah, I mean,
swag, baby.
Hey. Billy Napier. You definitely right. But we do have a game coming up this week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask this question first. It's kind of in reverse. Is this game bigger for Brian Kelly or Billy Napier?
Brian Kelly.
I think it's Billy Napier personally.
I think the reason why I think it's Brian Kelly is because, of course, I'm looking at this with my LSU glasses on.
Mm-hmm.
He has pretty much his back is against the wall, just because the offense for the last 2 games they haven't came out and shown their best performance. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Billy Napier, his offense, honestly, it has improved. You know, sometimes it's hit or miss, but they look better than our offense, if I'm being completely honest. They got a lot of talented guys up front. And right now, I think they have all the momentum going into this game. So I think BK right now, a lot of pressure is on BK. You got the national media talking about him, coming off a loss where you got your head busted. You know what I'm saying? So I'm putting the pressure on BK right now.
Pause. But hey, I think it's and I'm gonna say this is why I think it's Billy Napier. BK has the job. If he loses this game, media's going to talk, but he's still going to have a job on Monday. He's still going to have a job next year. Billy Napier wants to come out and prove that LSU missed up on the opportunity, that they passed him up. He has been, for the lack of better words, they haven't been exactly a shining star over there in the east side with Florida right now. Their record is 4-2, just like LSU, but it's an ugly 4-2. They had a struggle win against South Florida. They jumped out big on Mizzou, but let Mizzou come back and win. They've lost both rivalries with Kentucky and Tennessee. I think right now Billy Napier has to. They beat Utah in the opening game. But
Utah threw an interception in the end zone for them to win that game. So.
Yeah. So it's I think right now Billy Napier is he has to. I'm gonna say he has to win, but right now if you look at it, most LSU fans aren't looking at this like we should have got Billy Napier. I think most LSU fans are like looking at him like, I'm glad we ain't got Billy Napier.
Well, I think you can make the argument for either coach,
Right.
but I think I'm gonna go with Billy Napier because Brian Kelly didn't get necessarily overlooked for the job. Billy Napier got overlooked for the LSU job, so he's basically has to come out and kind of show that he should have been, considered for the LSU job, so to say. Brian Kelly was already at a prestigious job and took another prestigious job. Billy Napier was G5 Billy, who turned down, all these. He turned down Auburn and Virginia Tech and some of these other jobs. So he has to come out and win to show that he deserved to be where he's at. And this is the first. Well, Tennessee was probably the first real big game, but this is for him. This is the statement game from him. It's at home against LSU. You're favored to win the game. There's no reason why you shouldn't win this game, pretty much. So if he doesn't win this game, not only does LSU look vindicated in a way, but Florida looks like, okay, well, maybe we did get the wrong guy. Not necessarily the wrong guy, but maybe he isn't who we thought he was, so to speak.
And you can kind of make the same case for BK too. You know what I'm saying? If let's say this. If BK come out and that offense looks how it looks the past 2 weeks, and Billy's offense, with you got ATN who's balling this year. Richardson, if he comes out, because he's either hit or miss, if he comes out and have one of those games, I mean, you could be looking at BK kind of sideways. Some people would be looking at BK kind of sideways. Did we make the right hire? I mean, you can make an argument for that.
I understand.
Yeah, but my thing is, you look at the track record for Brian Kelly. His resume speaks for itself. Billy Napier doesn't have a resume at this level.
I started saying T.I. in my head. Check the resume, player. The record's impeccable.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think Florida was in a better chance. I mean, Florida was in a better place to LSU coming in. So when these teams took over, when these coaches took over, Florida was in a better place.
Real Napier ain't SEC.
No, I get it. But look, you're only as good as your last game, bro.
Yeah. Now I say this to answer. I think the game is more important for Florida than it is LSU.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say first. I want to do this. Adam does now. Daniel. Adam agrees with you. He says BK. He says how the media is already on his sack. Well, he corrects and said already on his back. No comment. But yeah,
brings up a good point too.
Yeah, he says Mullen didn't recruit at a high level.
That's fair. Neither did at Orgeron.
Wait, what? At Orgeron finished with the 4th, the 5th.
Okay, and now how many guys are still on the team from those recruiting classes?
Now I think I'll say this. I'm not gonna say he didn't recruit at a high level.
Okay, well, he didn't retain
roster management.
Okay,
horrible.
That's fair.
Yeah,
roster management is horrible.
I still think we have better players than Florida does.
I agree. I completely agree with that.
I think it's even
in certain spots.
I think it's even.
I think that we got better DBs because we had to go to the portal and get them.
Yeah,
I think that's debatable.
The way they're performing right now,
I think we got a better DB coach.
I mean, I'm just saying. I think that these teams are pretty much even, like dead even.
I think they are even.
That's fair.
Florida has zero defense depth.
That's true. That's true. Okay, how much depth does LSU have in certain spots on defense? You know what I mean? Like we could go both ways. Probably. I'm not. And Florida has better running backs than we do.
They do. They're killing us in the running back.
They got 3 guys that probably would be our number running back 1 right now. Hey, at least 2 for sure. For sure.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. If there's any hope, any inkling that Travis Etienne or whatever his name, Trevor Etienne, want to come back home, somebody need to call Gordon. I know, but I'm just saying.
And he's not their best running back.
He's good. He will come
I'm not denying that, but Montrell Johnson is the one you got to worry about.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying Etienne can put up some numbers too, dog.
Hey, Miss Nikki.
Oh,
Yeah. So I think we kind of mentioned this. Ant kind of mentioned this. But he said this game is more important for Florida. Is this the most important game for LSU at this point?
yep,
Yes.
because it's the next one.
Well, I don't think that's just the reason why. I think
Yeah.
if you look at the games you got coming up next, for them, if you look at,
Most winnable one.
I mean, you got Ole Miss, you got Bama, you got Arkansas. I mean, Arkansas might be the most winnable, but at this point, but I mean, it don't get no easier after this.
Right.
And if you lose 2 in a row, you're gonna start looking at the roster like where we get our win at. You know what I mean? So I think
Look at
this game
schedule,
is. I think. Oh yeah, my bad. The schedule. I think you gotta get this win to kind of get some momentum and get some confidence back and go down the stretch with a little momentum. Because if you lose to Tennessee like the way you did, then lose this game, it's gonna be rough.
Hey, you said who got the target on the back? You said Billy, but BK. I'm just saying because if you're looking at it, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I want to come in here and I want a sunshine pump, but our offense needs to come and they need to play ball. You know what I'm saying? Or it's gonna be a long day.
Oh no, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I just think that that's more of a team thing than it is just a Brian Kelly thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think Brian Kelly is like Pooh said, he's solidified. Everybody knows what we have in Brian Kelly.
Right.
They don't know what they have in Billy Napier. And if he gets his team up for any game, it's gonna be this one.
Oh, it's gonna be this one.
So if Florida knows that this is the game he's gonna get up for, and they come out and lose, then like what confidence do they have in their team? Like this is the one game that you got up for, and you still couldn't get a win. Like,
hey, Nick in here, shout out Nick. He been rocking with us hard. You know what I'm saying? Last few, what you call it? Yeah, I ain't
pushing pressure, probably playing pressure up in here too.
Yeah,
that boy said 10-2. I don't know about
pressure
that.
Said we going 10-2.
That boy sound like the Miami fans.
I think this next one. I think this is an easy answer.
Okay.
What position group must play better to win?
Defensive line.
Oh, that's that one where I was going with.
I think the wide receiver position.
Defensive line.
You know what? I say that's easy. I say this, Daniel. Wide receiver is probably the easiest one to think, or the first one pops in your head. I think the group that has to play better is your offensive line, because if we and hold up, you know what? I'm gonna wait till we get to that question. But I'm gonna wait till we get to this. The LSU wins because that'll tie into why I say offensive line. So
the reason why I said defensive line is you've had offensive line had struggles for sure, but you had guys, rotating it. You ain't had the same lineup.
Yeah, guys that were hurt last week.
Defense, you've had these same guys since week 1 when Mason Smith went down. Right. You know what I mean? And if you let Florida run the ball on you the way Tennessee ran the ball on you, it will be a long day.
That's right.
If you let Hendon Hooker ran for 50-something yards, if that's Anthony Richardson, that's 100 yards. You have to play more discipline on containing and rushing the passer, and you have to play better against the run against Florida.
Miss Nikki cheated. Miss Nikki cheated. I get what she's saying, and I agree, but she cheated. She said special teams. We have to get better. That's fair. But that's not a position group. That's a phase of the game. She cheated.
Okay, well, let me say this.
Turn unit then.
Y'all cheating. Y'all cheating. She's absolutely right, though. She is absolutely right.
But I think the reason why I say wide receivers, because in the last 2 games, if those guys actually catch the ball, it gives our offense a little bit more time to have the ball and to see if we can actually get drives. Because a lot of times what happens, those guys drop the ball and it stunts our drives. It stops the momentum. So that's why I say you got to get open. You know what I'm saying? You got to get open. You got to run the right play. You got to catch the ball.
Hey, that's fair. That's good points. That's fair.
I want to take a quick break to shout out Alan Bell. I guess from last Thursday, he picked Justin Fields over half interception. They literally, Chicago just got in the red zone. And he threw a pass that was tipped and caught by a defensive lineman. Hey, that dude is good. Hey, and then they
I
said,
think some of them guys got like time machines, dog.
dude, I'm telling you, man, Vegas be knowing those guys are good. I do not envy. Well, I guess I envy their pockets. They but nah, they definitely know what they be doing. But back to this game, topic at hand. Now this one actually, I think this is a little bit harder. What is the strength of this team? You know what? I think this is a sneaky. If we talking about offense, if we talking about Ant, what's the stat you said I was gonna steal? I want you to say this stat because people gonna think I'm lying.
Oh, all right. LSU is currently 5th in the SEC in passing yards per game, even with the 85-yard game against Auburn.
Very interesting. Even against the you know what I'm saying, even you know what I'm saying, that's very interesting.
Wait,
so
come on,
and that's gonna I'm just saying so, and that's gonna tie into my it's gonna tie into my the next question, but I'll let y'all go. What is the strength of this team?
I have no idea.
Boy, you right. You know what? I'm lying. I would say, to me, the secondary for the most part has played the most consistent this year.
Yes, this old vet in the whole SEC, not just the West. That is shocking.
Right, but I'll say the secondary for the most part because they haven't really given up too many blown coverages, and they've been consistent. You know, Jay Ward, he didn't have the best game last week, but for the most part, besides last week, they played pretty good ball all season. So I'll say the secondary.
And it was going to commit. Golly.
Yeah. I think I had to agree with Daniel on that, bro.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. LSU wins if
we can run the ball.
We can stop the run.
So this ties into what I was going to say. All right. I said offensive line. We saw last week. Well, we saw the last 2 weeks. If LSU can't pass and they have to rely on the run, they can still win. If LSU can't run and they got to rely on the pass, they won't win.
Nope. But
you have to run the ball.
Right. But if I'm Florida, I am stopping the run. I'm going all in on stopping the run until LSU shows
exactly.
They can have some kind of passing game. Because I understand that we're 5th in the SEC when it comes to pass, but I don't see it. I know the numbers are there, but I just don't see it, man.
So I just pulled it back up. All right, so Mississippi State is first in the SEC, 354 yards a game. Tennessee is second, 340. Georgia, 320. Kentucky, 263. LSU, 256. Next is Ole Miss, then Alabama. And that's passing yards per game. So, I understand it don't always look the best. And it might not always be the most efficient.
How many touchdowns?
You can't. You want to go by touchdowns?
I just want to see.
It's going to do touchdowns per game. And we are 8th. Tied.
That's still better than I thought we would be.
1.3 per game. Ole Miss and Arkansas 1.7. Kentucky and Vanderbilt 2.3. Tennessee 2.6. Alabama 3.2. Mississippi State 3.7. It's on a per game basis, but yeah. So that's that's one of them things where it don't always look the best. It's not optically pleasing. You know what I mean? So
it's just like when people were saying, "Oh, Jaden's horrible," and I'm like, "But he's completing 70% of his passes."
It's not crisp like we used to seeing, man. Yeah. That's all it is.
It's not. Or it's just like people are like, man, we had a horrible running game, and you look at the stats, and we ran for 280 something. And it's like we didn't have consistent running, or we didn't have consistent catching, but we caught it when we need to, and we stopped. It's like the drops and stuff. Most of the drops and stuff we've seen have been on third down, so drives have stopped. But then we'll take I said it before. We can score anywhere on the field. We'll take a 96-yard, get on the 4 and drive it. Get it on the 1 and drive it. Get it on the
last 2 minutes of the quarter.
But it's tempo. It's not necessarily the time, it's the tempo. But all right, so people talk about the Auburn game when we had 85 yards passing. Cool. You know how many Anthony Richardson had against Missouri?
What, it was 90, wasn't it? 90,
No.
90.
66.
Oh, well, there you go.
But I don't hear anybody saying Anthony Richardson can't throw or any stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that's what
Chris Brown says that.
But he I mean, I get it, but he's had games where he can't. He really does play pretty well. He's just not.
Jaden just had one last game right after he had a bad game. You know what I mean? So you can say what you want to say, but it's the exact same thing. And before people get up here and say Jaden threw all that stuff, Jaden threw all them in the second half. He had 250 some yards in the first half passing. So let's be real, bro.
And I'm gonna keep it a buck. I get he passed for over 300 yards. He had his best passing. I'm not gonna say best pass. He had the most yards hit the last game. I get it, but it doesn't matter. The offense, we're going into game 7, and we still don't know what we're good at. We still don't have an identity.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But what I'm saying is, people who get on social media and go out and say stuff like Jaden Daniels isn't a good passer, we can't pass the ball and stuff like that. The numbers say the exact opposite.
And if you actually watch the game with the unbiased eye, you'll see, it's making good passes here. We're making good passes there.
Yeah, that's what he definitely does.
And you just said the previous topic, who needs to play better? You said the wide receivers because they dropped the ball and killed drives. 100%. Okay, so how much penalties? When we get 1st and 15, and then you change what you have to do, or you get a drop, or the offensive line, blocks wrong, gives up a sack, or whatever the case may be. You can't blame all of the offense on the passing game. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying you can't blame all of the offense on the passing game whenever there's more factors than just Jaden Daniels. Like, if the receivers catch the ball, maybe the offense, maybe he throws for 400. If Jeray doesn't drop that pass, that's a touchdown. You know what I mean? So, and how many yards was that? 50 more yards? You know what I mean? So you got to look at if everybody executes, then the offense looks totally different. But we're only blaming Jaden Daniels. And that's why I feel like it's hard. You can't sit up here and say that the passing game isn't good because of Jaden. There's a bunch of factors. I do agree with you about the identity. But I think part of that comes from, I think we want to be a run first, possess the ball team, and throw off of that. But whenever you don't have a consistent offensive line, you can't be a run first team. You can't be a run first team when the running backs are averaging 1.5 yards a carry like they did against Tennessee. You can't do it.
And let's keep it a buck too, though. If the mindset of our offense is to be a run first team, we're not built for that. Our best players are on the outside. Honestly, our running back room is average at best, if we're being honest. I don't care how many stars you have. We started a walk-on at the running back position the last 2 games, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he's not a walk-on.
He's not anymore. A walk-on anymore.
He came into LSU as a walk-on, and
that's not fair to keep calling him a walk-on.
Hold up. Baker Mayfield went to Texas Tech as a walk-on. Then went to Oklahoma as a walk-on.
I get it. But at the same time,
J.J. Watt went to Wisconsin.
Be disrespectful to the young man. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, whenever you have guys that's supposed to be talented, NFL-ready backs, you got
maybe Josh Williams is better than them right now. And the fact that he walked on doesn't have anything to do with his current abilities. That's all I was saying. But I feel like, okay, if you're Brian Kelly, you have to start establishing your identity now. Like, if you want to be a run first team, you do that now. And I understand you might not. Hold on. I understand you might not have the personnel you need now, but that's how you build continuity with your offensive line, and which, like, you have Mason Taylor, you have Cole Taylor. They're not up to par for what you think they should be, but you have to start running your offense. You can't keep switching offenses year in and year out, bro.
No, you can't. Do that. No, you're right. But as a coach, right? He's coming in to a team. This is his first year. You adjust to the players you have
to a certain extent.
Yeah, but at the same time, so you can't. If you want to win games, you put the ball in the best hands of the best players on your team. You get them the ball. You cannot come in and try to fit a square in a peg hole. You just can't do that. We're not built to run the ball. We're not.
But at the same time, you don't change who you are just because of the roster. You incorporate certain parts to get them involved, but you still remain true to who you are because you have to build off of that year in and year out,
You
bro.
don't even know who you are yet.
He knows who we are. He knows who he wants to be. He knows the identity. He just has to mold this team to that.
I get it, but you do that in the offseason. You're trying to win games right now.
And bro, we're 4-2.
You're 4-2 right now. Will you be 4?
Okay.
Will you be 5-2, or will you be 4-3?
I don't know. There's only one way to find out.
Honestly, if the offense doesn't execute and you don't get your playmaker, if you keep trying to force feed Mason Taylor, you're gonna be 4-3.
Honestly, no, I don't think it has nothing to do with the offense. If you can't stop, if you can't, all right, bro. All right. How many yards per game does Florida rush for?
Honestly, I don't know. But you can't come out and perform on offense like the last 2 games and expect to win, because it ain't gonna happen.
Well, we was 1-1 in them last 2 games.
We was winning.
And why did you beat Auburn? Why did you beat Auburn? Because your defense shut them out in the second half. That's why you won.
If anything, last week game was an outlier because our defense all season has played well. We said it last week. Tennessee ran a gimmick offense. Come on. They ran a gimmick offense. That offense is potent. At the same time, our offense has looked like they don't have an identity.
Are you going off the score? Are you going off the score? Because it could have been a 20 or a 37-20 game or a 37-23 game. Does that change your mind because we scored more than 13 points?
And do you think the offense played good ball last week?
I don't think they were terrible.
Okay.
I kind of agree. I think the running attack was terrible.
The running game was terrible, but as a whole, I don't think the offense was terrible.
Yeah,
you got the ball. You got the ball in the red zone on your second drive of the game, and you went for it on 4th down instead of taking points. You moved the ball pretty much all game. You had the ball in the red zone again at the end of the game and threw an interception. If you convert right there, it's 37-23. Just them 2 drives. That don't hold on. That don't include. Hold on, bro. Hold on. No, I'm not looking at yards. I'm looking at points. And then if Jeray Jenkins catches that pass, then it's a 37-30 game.
But they didn't execute, Ant. You saying hypotheticals? We looking at what they did. They did not execute. You talking about this is what happened.
We're talking. So all right, Daniel, you play football, right?
Yes.
Football is a game of finish that sentence. Football is a game. Okay, so that means near misses, right? Near makes and near misses, right?
Yeah.
What Ann is talking, he's talking hypothetical, but he's saying, hey, a few things were missed here and a few things were missed there.
And it's a totally different game.
It's a totally different game. They're not terrible. Execution needs to be better, but it just wasn't terrible. But I do want to bring up these 2 comments. Jason Brumfield says, we got to let Jaden be Jaden. If he passed for 180 and he rushed for 93 and we score and win, I'll take it. Anything to keep him from throwing from having to throw 40 times.
I agree to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But if it takes him throwing 40 times to win, then do that. But whatever we got to do for us to win.
And this old vet brings up a very, very good point. I saw the film study that Carter did. It looked to me like our running game is too predictable. Right. Defenses can tell when we're running and which side we're running to.
Yep.
Bro,
where's Jack Marucci when you need him?
The Keyshawn Boutte sweep. Everybody knows when that play is coming. Everybody knows when that play is coming.
I mean, it worked against Auburn. If Josh Williams don't have a illegal block, I mean, it worked.
Yeah, but I mean, run a fake off of it.
I'd say so. Y'all know I've talked to y'all and complained about my son's high school team and not trashing the team, but I've said this. I only go to the games. I don't go to practice. I only go to the games. And by the formation they line up in, I know when he get the ball, what route he running, which way he going. If I know that,
some might not get the ball next game.
It's predictable.
I ain't worried about that. If I can see that, and I'm not the only one.
Right.
I'm not the only one. People in the stands with me are sitting there saying, you know what I'm saying, he's getting the ball. And if I could tell, and I don't go to practice and stuff, I know other coaches who watch film can.
Yeah.
That's like this offense.
You got to be more creative.
They only run one run play, dog.
Right.
That's all they run.
That's
I
all they
haven't
run.
seen a counter. I haven't seen a power. I
Right.
haven't seen anything like that. It's just that same inside zone.
So
Same
we
thing.
haven't even. Jaden's best ability right now is his legs for the most part. We know he can chunk it.
It's
We know
creativity. Yeah.
Well,
we
I
literally
saw
haven't taken advantage of the RPO. We
I saw a
haven't.
stat. I saw
Use
a
it.
stat that says Jaden Daniels, whenever they call quarterback draws, he's actually not as successful running the ball with a quarterback draw as he is whenever he scrambles when stuff breaks down.
Thank you, Adam. I literally just
Yeah,
I
that's a
don't
good
get
point.
it. I do not understand why we haven't taken advantage of
Yeah,
RPO.
for our says I just wish we utilize RPOs more. I agree. I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say I wish we utilized. I wish we executed when we ran them so they could be more effective. When you run an RPO and your wide receiver's not looking back for the ball, they just automatically go to blocking. It's an issue.
You talking about the Brian Thomas one? He wasn't necessarily blocking. He
No,
was running.
not just that. It's not just that. Brian, the first one, Florida State ball hit K. Son. He wasn't even looking.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, though, if it's open, you got to run it though.
I understand. I'm just saying, if we execute more, it's a completely different way.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah.
No,
But
I
if you see that every time you run an RPO, the slant open, and if the receiver ain't doing his drive, you get out, put another one in, and run the same damn play.
Wait,
I'm
hold
say
on.
it like this. I'm gonna say it like this real quick, Pooh.
Mhm.
We had a meeting last week between the wide receivers and the quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be on the field practicing that, talking about what we're gonna do and actually running them routes.
Well, to that point,
that's everything, bro.
To that point, he did look like he trusted the receivers a lot more in this game than he has all season.
Yeah.
He still could get better at it for sure, and he still left some throws out there. Don't get me wrong, but I actually saw him throwing it, with a little bit of anticipation and giving his guys a chance to make plays on the ball. So
Yes.
I'm hopeful that it's getting better as we progress through the season.
I just think a lot of our problems is kind of like what you guys said earlier, and I don't want to keep beating the dead horse, but I think it's just execution and just timing. I just think that's what it is, man. I just think that's what it is.
Yeah,
Peter gonna get you. You do that, but
I don't even know who that is.
Peter, folks, they got Mike Vick.
Oh, Peter. I thought you were saying Peter.
All right. Earlier this week, Eli Ricks, former LSU 5-star cornerback, posted a cryptic message. It was a black and white picture of him in his LSU uniform. To make this even more, I think they say he erased or deleted all the Alabama stuff off his page as well. He came out. It came out. Pressing guy reported that he got source in that. He was just saying he's ready to be healthy again, like he was when he was at LSU. I don't know when that was, but anyway, they were saying he just said he wants to be healthy again, and yeah.
I'm cool on Durant. He could stay over there.
Yeah, I'm
Man,
good.
look, everybody makes mistakes.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Hold on, let me finish my statement.
I am. I just said that's cool. I agree.
Everybody makes mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a difference between loyalty and disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
What he did when he left LSU was disrespectful, and it showed how disloyal he was. And bro, you can't come back from that, bro.
Once you switch sides, you got to stay there.
You gotta stay over there, dog.
Somebody said,
Him and his mom.
Somebody said, boy, I ain't going there. Somebody said that you have to, sports is very forgiving and everybody gets a second chance in sports.
He got a second chance.
I agree.
Chance over there, Bama.
You talking about
so here's my thing. You do, say everybody. I agree. Most people, because there are some situations you don't deserve a second chance. Most people deserve a second chance. Your second chance doesn't have to be in Baton Rouge, or at least your second chance doesn't have to be on this side of Baton Rouge. Southern may take you.
the third chance actually.
BRCC might have an opening or something, but we
Hey,
good over here.
What Bush said, fool me once, shame on you. fooled me twice. I can't get fooled again. Did he say something like that, dog? I mean, come on, dog. Y'all tripping.
All right. I don't know if I guess we'll go here. You know what I'm saying? Little fun topic. What is one of your favorite LSU teams?
2011. I honestly think if they would have won that national championship game, I still think they're one of the best college football teams ever. But I think it kind of could have solidified them as having at least the best defense ever. You had a lot of talent on that team, man.
Yeah, that was a fun team for sure.
Yeah.
Tuck in the building. What's good, Tuck? It says Harsin isn't SEC.
Yeah.
I'm talking about your coach like that, man. He ain't going nowhere.
Hey, go Down South Football. Go check them out. They come on, I think 8, right, Tuck? They come on at 8. After our show, though. Go watch them.
Some audio low. Bet.
I'm gonna go with 11. 11 was gonna be my answer, but I'll go.
Don't take mine.
You can say 11.
Now go ahead, Pooh. You go ahead.
2013. Damn it! I knew it. I knew you was gonna take mine. 2013. 2013 was the
that was
Mettenberger,
and
Landry, Odell, Jeremy Hill. That was the first. Tuck said color people 8-10. But that was the first time that we saw LSU can be a spread team, or at least a more passing team.
Bro, we are so excited.
Bro, that was man. That seemed like ages ago, dog.
Yeah, because that was the first team to have a 2,000 yard, 3,000 yard passer, 2,000 yard receivers,
and 1,000 yard
rusher. And then the second team to do it, 2019. So when they had a 5,000 yard passer, 2,000 yard. And here's the crazy part about it.
They almost had
3,000 yard receivers.
If Terrence don't get hurt, they get it.
Right.
And then on top of that, Burrow goes to the league and does it in the league.
Yeah.
With Burrow and Chase. So yeah. But go ahead. I took your Dane took yours. I took your
both
second.
Of y'all took mine. So I'm gonna go a little further back in the time machine.
Oh man.
01.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Rohan, Josh Reed. I think that was the first team that won. I think they won 10 games that year, 9 or 10 games that year.
Yeah,
man, that team was loaded, dog. They had Marcus Spears, Swagoo, Joseph Adai.
Yeah.
Michael Clayton was on that team too with Josh Reed. Like I think that was the first time we had like 2 superstars that I can remember at receiver. We always had backs, but we had receivers to go with them because you had Toefield and Adai and all them in the backfield. So I'm gonna go with that squad.
Chris say 2012. I don't know why. He said 2012. I don't remember nobody. It was Landry, Odell.
A lot of them guys came back on defense in 2012 though, wasn't it?
Well, 2012 was the year when Tyron got kicked off the team.
Yeah, because they were supposed to be good.
You had I think Mo Claiborne came back.
Wasn't Ryan Perilou our quarterback?
No, Ryan. No, boy.
Perilou was like 07, bro.
Yeah, Perilou was supposed to be our quarterback in 09.
Yeah, 08, 09, yeah.
If he was our quarterback in 9, then we might would have won that year. That team was loaded.
Hey, but you know what? I know you didn't ask for this, but I'm gonna say it. I think if God dog it, I just had his name in my head. Matt Canada. I think if Matt Canada would have had his chance, I think his offensive scheme would have been brilliant. I'm just saying.
You know what? We never got a chance to see it. A lot of hands in that pot.
Yeah, I think it would have been great, but yeah.
It would have worked eventually. It just took a little time to get going.
It was putting yards and points on Bama. If Danny Elliott was a little bit stronger arm, DJ Sharp was open all night.
Yeah.
So, but let's speaking of that, Bama, Tennessee, Bama this week. Big game. Can Tennessee beat Bama?
Yep.
Who the quarterback for Bama?
I don't care.
That's my question every time.
I put it like this: if I ain't gonna say it don't matter, I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter. It matters, but I don't think I think it just changes the score. I think Tennessee wins either way.
I think
I disagree. I think if Bryce Young plays, Alabama ekes out a close one. But if he don't play, then they lose by 10.
Hey, Chris, you keep saying, you know what I'm saying, it can't happen. Holla at me.
Matt Canada was not ass. Hey, but I'll tell you like this, bro. Tennessee's offense is so potent, dog.
But their defense is so terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Shit,
it's a worse version of Alabama's.
You said what?
It's a worse version of Alabama.
You think Alabama's defense is able to?
No, just the secondary. Their front seven good. Secondary. But that's the same thing with Tennessee. Tennessee front seven, pretty good.
Yeah,
that's secondary.
Pretty good, but Jahmyr Gibbs a different animal, dog.
Yeah, that's true.
Jahmyr Gibbs could keep Hendon Hooker on the sideline.
Mm-hmm. He sure ain't keep Haynes King on the sideline.
It's gonna be a good game, man. I have Tennessee winning though. Honestly.
I do too.
And where they playing? They playing at Tennessee, right?
In Tennessee too.
Yeah, I got Tennessee winning.
Mm-hmm.
They just get kind of like what the guy said last week. AB, everything like guys. Every time the ball hit the ground last week at LSU, they got it. And he said it all season. They've been getting all the ball. It just seems like this year is their year. You know, so kudos to them, man.
All right, so let's moving on with other big games. Number 7 USC goes to Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah, to take on number 20 Utah. And in the ACC, let me pull it up so I know exactly.
Clemson go to Florida
number
State.
four, Clemson goes to Tallahassee to take on Florida State.
Right, so who y'all got USC winning that game against Utah?
I don't know if I got them yet. I think that's gonna be a toss up. I think that's a closer game than people expect.
USC winning that game.
I agree with Daniel.
Yep.
I don't see it. I see a way. I just don't. Now, Clemson and Florida State, I thought this game was a little bit close. I thought this game was going to be a lot closer probably 2 weeks ago. I think
it still can be
I think it's still going to be a close game.
Yeah.
I think for Clemson,
here's the
hard
crazy
to keep
thing.
Getting up every week like that for Clemson.
Look at this. Clemson by 20. Wasn't this the same person say Clemson don't deserve to be in the top 5?
Yeah. Clemson ass. DJU, Dabo overrated. DJU.
Dabo is overrated.
Hey, you need to stop.
There you go.
Listen here, son. You want to continue working here? You want to stay off the drugs.
Hey, man. Dabo is overrated.
He doing it again this year.
Mm-hmm. Hey, let me ask you a question. How is Venables doing at Oklahoma?
Terrible. Terrible.
What about Tony Elliott at
they took all his players.
Virginia? What about Tony Elliott?
Terrible. Just terrible.
They took all his players.
Oh, okay.
Who?
Hold
on. Who took all who players?
He's saying
they took the best quarterback in college football, second best quarterback.
How good is his? Okay, how good is his defense?
Bro, he don't have the players, bro.
I just want to say this. Let me put this out here. If Venables, and I don't think anybody said this, Venables is so good as a defensive coordinator, so good as a coach. I'm not taking that away from him. How many players left Clemson to go to Oklahoma with him?
Man.
All right, fellas. Other top 25 matchups.
Hold on. Dabo,
you ain't got the answers, Daniel.
He got a coat over there. That's the problem. They've been drinking all that Kool-Aid.
Mike Jones left.
Who?
He did. Coach Ogeron went whispering Mike Jones in and told that boy, "Come on."
I'm just saying. If O could get one, why Venables could?
He don't got that mouthpiece.
Tuck said a couple left. He must ain't get many.
He don't got that mouthpiece.
All right, so
that mouth do.
Big pause.
That Michigan Penn State, yeah, big powers. Michigan Penn State should be a good game though this
You
weekend.
got Oklahoma State, TCU,
Yeah.
Kentucky, Mississippi State might actually be a good one now.
Oklahoma TCU.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Kentucky, Mississippi State.
Yeah, that should be a good one.
Levis is playing.
Yeah.
I got Mississippi State winning now.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
I'm agreeing with Daniel too much. I don't like this.
Nah, I like it. I like it, God dog it. Normally it's Chris. Normally it's you and Pooh. Y'all be acting like y'all the Avengers.
So who?
Because you got that Age of Ultron head over there. You be coming out with
Hey, chill out.
But got that Thanos head over there.
Hey, I know Pooh better wear a wig, right? He put it on before every show. I'm just letting y'all know that.
I wear a wig. You need to invest in one.
Hey, chill out.
You literally need a lace front.
Bro, chill out, bro. Hey, thank you, Nick. Hey, Nick is money.
Hey, but you know the problem with that? Nick always wrong.
Nah, hey, hold on. For the people who are listening, Nick said, "Tell him, Dan, you're not always wrong." That's
but Nick
right,
Nick is always wrong though. That's the problem.
No,
I wish Xavier was in here because Xavier would vouch for me. Nick is always wrong.
You know what? Whenever I'm right, Nick, they never go back and be like, "Man, hey, you was right on that." No,
because that never happens.
When has it happened?
Never see it, bro.
When
hey,
you know
what, Dan? You know what? A broke clock is right twice a day.
See, even then, that's it. That's a backhanded compliment right there. I don't want it. You can keep that. Hey, Chauncey, really talking.
Tuck.
That boy Tuck said, "Lord have mercy." Speaking of ham, Daniel head look like an old honey baked ham.
I know you ain't talking, boy. I ain't.
All right.
Come in faces, Tuck. Come in faces, dog.
Hey,
you know what, Chuck? Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for.
All right. Saints Bengals this weekend. Practice injury report came out.
Everybody hurt.
I think
don't nobody want to play against Joey B, dog.
it's like when y'all remember when Belichick used to put the whole team on the injury report list.
Yeah,
that's what the Saints injury report looked like, except everybody actually is hurt. So yeah. But it's a big stir this weekend. Preston guy asked a question about who you root for.
I'm gonna act like I see that, Nick. That's so disrespectful, dog.
Dang, he got you.
No, you don't gotta play that. Can we block him, man? Can we block him?
Nick, for those listening for the audio, they said Nick says, Dan, on the cool, I need a projector screen for this weekend. Are you available?
Oh,
if you don't know, he's referring to Daniel's forehead that is glistening right now. Daniel uses a microfiber.
His hairline is about the same as mine, dog.
Oh, bro.
Daniel uses microfiber cloths to keep it clean. Okay. All right, we're moving on for real. Boy. All right, Preston started up a little beef, a little back and forth this week. He asked about, will you be cheering for the Bengals or will you be cheering for the Saints this weekend with Joey B returning to town?
Who you rooting for, Pooh?
Chris funny, dog.
I am who they. Nah, it depends on what the prop say. What the prop bet say.
There you go. You following the money. Who you going for, Daniel?
Who they say they're gonna beat the Bengals?
Listen, I'm gonna say this. I will say this.
So let me hold on. Go ahead, Pooh. Go ahead.
For our Lord and Savior Joey B.
Oh, no, you're going too far. You're going too
just
far.
Just make sure you strike. Just make sure you strike down there. Make sure you strike down there. Strike down there.
The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Now,
let me ask you this, Daniel. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, Pooh. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say. I think they actually got similar records or the same record.
They got the same record.
Yeah.
But it seems like the Bengals still have a chance.
Yeah, because
And
the
the
Bengals,
Saints
they
really
always
don't.
just losing them.
I totally disagree. The Bengals have no chance because their division is a lot better than the Saints.
Yeah.
But I say this: what make you going for the Bengals because of Joe Burrow, right?
Yeah. Chase.
Okay. What about Tyrann Mathieu and Jarvis Landry?
I be cheering for them.
Are they on the injury report?
One of them is. One of them might not play. The other one playing.
No,
see, that's the hypocritical stuff I be talking about.
Can I finish? Man? Joe Burrow bring us a national championship and a Heisman.
Okay, that's your reasoning.
That's my reasoning.
That's fair. I give you
I honestly, I only think
I'm a Saints fan. I'm a Saints fan. So, I hope Joe Burrow throw 5 interceptions this weekend.
Boy, you cold-blooded.
So here's the thing for me. Y'all, you know what I'm saying, grew up in New Orleans. Y'all were Saints fans and LSU fans.
Everybody in Louisiana ain't from New Orleans.
Your forehead from New Orleans.
Chill out.
The rest of you from Alexandria.
Chill out. And the hair that you got on your head is from a horse.
You need to get something for your chin. Fill out that beard.
You need to get something right here to fill out that forehead.
You ain't talking.
But what's wrong with it?
Hey, Chris in the chat. Chris, how dare you show his when you want to show his hair? What day you do? Hey, for real. But here's the thing with me. I was an LSU fan and became a Saints fan.
Yeah.
So my loyalty was my loyalty was more towards the LSU than the Saints, and the Saints has done too much to hurt me. So,
hey, I know.
Hey, Zay, are these stars? Are we getting stars on Facebook now?
I don't know. He might just be high and forgot to type something, just sit and hit enter. Ain't no telling what that dude.
Hey, Nick, you got to come back at Chris, dog. He said you look like you sell bootleg CDs.
Hey, man. All right.
All
right. We got to get up out of here. All right. When do you bring Jameis back? Hold on. And is there a case? Is there a case to
okay, Daniel, go ahead. I know this is what you wanted.
Yep.
This is what you wanted.
I want to hear Sunday. Yes.
Go ahead.
Leave that man in there.
Based off why?
Hold on, because you said that at the beginning of the season, Jameis wasn't playing with anybody. That is a lie. Yes,
I did not say that.
Yeah, Mike Thomas. He had Jarvis Landry.
I said game one was the only game he played with everybody. That's what I said.
And he still didn't play that good. That game.
They won.
So? They still
ain't that what it's about? Has Andy Dalton looked good?
Yeah, he looked good last game.
Nah, he didn't. Taysom Hill looked good last game.
Man, look.
Taysom Hill had over 100 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. He was the offense.
That's great.
Matter of fact, Taysom Hill wasn't even there for Jameis. Except for game one.
Let Andy Dalton spin it. Keep him in there. Your offense look a lot better than what it has been in the past.
Oh, it doesn't.
And you missing Michael Thomas, and you missing Jarvis Landry. The only person that you're throwing the ball to is Chris Olave.
Chris Olave,
he probably gonna play this week. The offense looked the same, dog.
Mm-hmm.
The offense looked the same. A healthy Jameis, because I'm only judging off week 1 Jameis, because weeks 2 and 3 he had 4 fractures in his back. I'm not going off that. A healthy Jameis looks the exact same as Andy Dalton.
No,
looks the exact same.
Hold on. I think a healthy Jameson is better than Andy Dalton, but he's not going to be healthy this season, bro.
He's going to be healthy enough to be better than Andy Dalton.
Nobody's healthy throughout the whole season. He might.
No, but the type of injury he has, bro.
Nah, bro.
Let that man sit, bro.
Has Andy Dalton thrown the pass 40 yards downfield?
The offense looks better.
Answer my question.
No, he hasn't.
My point exactly. So you
one wide receiver.
Hold on.
No, he had wide receivers, bro. Stop it, man.
Oh man, you over here.
Chris says so Andy wasn't throwing accurate passes with Traquan.
He wasn't. Traquan wasn't the main guy.
He wasn't. So Chris, let me ask you a question. What define hold up. Chris, define accurate. And before you do that, Nick says Chris steals Debbie snacks to eat them.
I'm just trying to figure out. Chris Olave went out in the fourth quarter, bro. Fourth quarter.
And they were balling together.
My thing is, Jameis.
They were balling together. Hold on, let me look this up because
Jameis.
What I looked at,
Jameis
they were balling together.
Jameis healthy is a better option than Andy Dalton. And to your point, a healthy Jameis that's why I would not bring Jameis back this week or the Thursday game versus Arizona. I would bring him back
at least 3 or 4 more games to stay out.
I bring him back versus Vegas on Halloween.
You're not making the playoffs.
You don't know that.
They terrible. They ain't making the playoffs.
Your division is terrible.
That is true. If they get the playoffs, they'll lose in the first round.
It don't matter. You made the playoffs.
Andy Dalton, you said they.
You ain't got a first round pick anyway, so why does it matter?
You said him and
Sean Payton, you might get one.
Hold on.
But that ain't gonna be based off your record, so why does it matter? Make the playoffs.
Andy Dalton and Olave were cooking together, is what you said.
That's what he said.
Andy Dalton was.
I said they was cooking together. I said they looked well together. Imagine if you have Mike Thomas.
You said they was cooking. You said
they was cooking.
All right, 16. He was 16 or 24 for 187 yards. So now let me look exactly what Olave had.
Ain't nothing special.
He had 4 catches, 54 yards, and 1 touchdown. Which the 1 touchdown is probably what you saw that makes it look so much better.
And that's the one he got hurt on.
Well, y'all hating, son.
No, I'm not, bro. I'm being realistic. The offense is no better with Andy Dalton than there with Jameis. And Chris said Jameis looked ass until the fourth quarter. That's also not true because they would have had Will Lutz miss the field goal in the Atlanta game in the first half.
Don't you talk about Will Lutz?
Did he not miss the field goal?
Yeah, but don't you talk
about
him.
All right, then. So that's what I'm saying. You saying the offense, but if they have 10 points going in half instead of 7, that's a totally different game. But y'all keep blaming Jameis. Y'all not looking at the whole factor of the game.
I'm not blaming Jameis. I'm saying Jameis is hurt. He needs to sit out.
All right.
I'm not saying he need to start yet. I'm saying you said the case to start Andy Dalton. Right now, yes.
Dude, do your job, Pooh. We arguing about the same thing.
When Jameis get back, when Jameis healthy, he need to start. And I would start him against the Raiders on Halloween.
Bro, we literally are agreeing.
No, I don't think y'all are, because I think you saying because we're asking when to bring him back and should Andy Dalton be the starter the rest of the season. You're saying yes. Yeah. Andy's saying no. He's saying no. So y'all not arguing the same thing.
I'm saying Andy Dalton need to start for the next 2 games and then bring Jameis back.
All right. Okay. Quick question. Saints and Sean Payton.
If I could,
Daniel, tell me about this. So what is this about? Are you saying trade Sean Payton?
Yes. Supposedly they're supposed to be trying to work out a deal to trade Sean Payton to some team, because that's what they was going to do with the Miami Dolphins. They're going to trade Sean Payton and possibly get some draft picks. This was going to be the deal between Brady becoming an part owner of the Miami Dolphins, Sean Payton going, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can trade, yeah.
They've done it before.
Yeah, it's
John Gruden got traded from the Raiders to the Buccaneers.
Yeah, Jay Gruden got traded too, didn't it?
I don't know. I know Mike Holmgren got traded from Green Bay to the Seahawks also.
Right. Trade Peyton, Winston, and Thomas for Joe Burrow. Bro, please. You get a 5th round pick. They're not giving up their franchise.
All right, first, so
Nick Zay said this is Spider-Man meme when they pointing at each other.
Nick Underhill did he had an article came out that said they like posed some GMs and stuff and asked like, what would you get for trading Sean Payton? And You're probably not gonna get a first round pick unless it's like a late first round pick. If it's a top 10 pick, they're not giving that up. So you might well get 2 seconds from a team like that. But I think it all depends on where does he go. He's not finna just go anywhere. He got his, pretty much his choice of where he want to go. I think it's gonna have to be a team with a stable quarterback position. They got weapons, and that they have, a good front office situation and stuff like that. So like the Chargers, the Broncos. Carolina, I do not see him going to Carolina. I don't see that. That just makes no sense. They in total rebuild mode. It makes no sense for him to go there.
I can see him going to the Broncos.
Yeah.
I can see him going to the Chargers too.
Yeah, I think the Chargers would be better because they got a younger quarterback and they'll be more cap flexible. And I think they're closer to competing. But other than that, right now I don't really see a team that really fits his criteria. Dallas, I don't think he's gonna go to Dallas because of Jerry Jones and that whole situation.
But I think him and Jerry Jones got a pretty good relationship, right?
Yeah, but Jerry Jones wants to run. Yeah. Jerry Jones wants to run stuff, but is he gonna let Sean?
Ego.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They might be cool and they might be close.
Yeah, but when you start working with people,
you don't. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Bill Parcells and Sean Payton are like. Like that, and he came up under Bill Parcells, and you saw how Bill Parcells and Jerry Jones got along. They didn't, you know what I mean? So I don't see that working, bro. Yeah. I know that's the name everybody want to throw out, but I just don't see
it. All right, you got some good, just like the college game. We got some good matchups, some real good matchups this week.
Yeah,
in the NFL,
you got
Bills and Chiefs. You got Cowboys, Eagles.
Yeah,
and surprisingly, you got the Ravens and the Giants, the New York Football Giants.
Yeah, that guy I wanted to be the Saints coach looking pretty good up there in New York.
Dabo.
Yep.
I thought you said Dabo. I was about to get mad.
He'd probably be better than Dennis Allen.
I think a lot of people would have been better than Dennis Allen at this point.
That's facts.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask this. Ed Orgeron was 8-25 at Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Had a pretty good stint as an interim at USC, and then got the LSU job. Then he went back to Ole Miss.
Pretty much.
Not physically, but
yeah, he resorted back to what he did.
He lost focus.
Dennis Allen
was terrible as a head coach in Oakland.
If I'm not mistaken, he had a interim stint with the Saints, and when they good. When he interim coach when
No. That was Joe Vitt. Who was our interim when that was.
I can't say it's comparable though. I can't say it's comparable. The reason why I can't say they're comparable is because Edo did put that national championship team together.
He caught lightning in a bottle.
But he still, you gotta get a man.
He was
he responsible for it, but he couldn't sustain it though.
A lot of people talk about the lightning in the bottle, but
I didn't do that.
Ed Orgeron took LSU. The interim season, they ended up being 8-4, something like that, 8-4. Then they were 9-3.
Yeah, they got better every year.
8-4, 9-3, 10-2, 10-3, 10-3.
Okay,
and something like that, and then the 15-0. So Ed Orgeron had I think he was good until he hit that natty. When he won that natty, it was all out the window. It was like I think he got the big head, and it was just like it was just like
some people can't handle success, bro.
I mean, I think that's part of it, but I also think that he was in over his head a little bit. Like when he lost to Randall,
it was over with.
That team fell apart, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I look at it as you're only as good as the people that are running. I think you're right about him losing to Randall, but at the same time, he still brought a lot of those guys together. I know Randall was already there. But a lot of those guys, a lot of those players, a lot of those coaches that he had around his program, whenever they went on
a lot of them were the same guys that Les had though.
Hey, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people.
Old USC head coach or something like that who won a couple.
That man didn't do. That man was a consultant.
Hey, it's literally 3 comments in a
That man
row
on
saying the same
86.
thing.
That man on 88 years old, bro.
Who
Like,
you
come
talking
on
about?
now,
The
dog.
wisdom,
John Robinson.
the wisdom and stuff that he was getting poured into. I mean, come on, man.
I mean, that
goes
I give you that, but at the same time, like most of the position coaches and stuff who were there were the same guys that Les had.
Except for Cameron.
Yeah, I mean, but he upgraded in one spot with Joe Brady, and then you had Joe Burrow. You improved at the quarterback
position. But you're talking
position
about just the
like
2019 season. Pooh just read out to you how every year they got better.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. You giving all that credit to Ed Orgeron?
He was the head coach.
Okay, so then he gets all of the blame when they lose. Then you can't say that losing to Randa hurt. You can't say none of that. Then
I'm saying that,
I can say losing around the hurt. I can tell you what. He's the reason why he's part of the reason why Randa left.
That's my point. But what I'm saying is, Randa had just as much to do with the 9-3, 10-2, and 10-3 as Ed Orgeron did.
But Randa wasn't a head coach.
He still
I'm not saying he didn't, but I'm not giving him. Ed Orgeron was the head coach, bro. I'm not gonna sit up here and say he didn't have nothing to do with their success. Just like he had everything to do with their downfall. He had a lot to do with their success also.
I'm not saying he didn't, bro, but what I'm saying is he couldn't he was in over his head because once he lost David Randa, he couldn't do anything after that. He had multiple times to hire a replacement for David Randa. Couldn't come close to doing it. He had an opportunity. Hold on. He had an opportunity. Hold on, bro. He had an opportunity to replace Joe Brady. Couldn't do it. Twice, couldn't do it. That's my point.
Nick said, "Damn, you're overthinking it. I can see why."
Hey, Nick look like he don't wear lotion. Look like your ankles ashy. They stay ashy.
Hey, all I'm saying is he was having guys like Aranda and them around him and Steve Ensminger around him helped keep him from being in over his head. Once he lost that, he was in over his head.
Hey, so here's the thing. So, and I know this not necessarily the answer, but 3 people have said this in a row. Too busy chasing tail.
Right.
He was good until he lost his woman.
Right.
And then when Edo got divorced, it all went downhill, and he was chasing something other
than a correlation there.
It's a loss. He literally lost a lot of focus.
Right. Let me ask you this: if he does that, and Aranda is on the team or on the staff, do you think Aranda could keep it together a little better than what it was?
I think he's the defensive coordinator. He's not the head coach.
It doesn't matter, bro.
God, it starts at the top. I'm telling you.
Daniel. I get what you're saying. But I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. In 2020, we talked about this in the chat, right? We were 1-2 to start under Brennan, right? Them first 3 games.
Yeah.
How many points did we give up to Mississippi State and Missouri?
Oh, it was a crap show.
All right. Everybody, who did everybody blame?
They blamed Bo Pelini.
Okay. Now, when we came back in 2021 and the defense looked the same, what did everybody blame?
Durante Jones.
And then when Durante finally got to run his defense, and things changed, right? We all saw. We was like, oh, this okay. This is Durante. Oh, we should have been doing this all season, right?
I think it's more than that, though, bro.
No, hold on. I got you.
The offense struggled too.
Not in 2020.
Yes, they did.
Daniel. Oh, matter of fact, hold on. Let me.
But hold on. But why are you doing that?
You lost the team in the off season.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Season, bro.
You're right.
But you had a losing season. Going into, you were gonna lose. You weren't set up for success.
But let me ask you this: if you have David Randa in that locker room, who keeps that locker room together and don't let it implode like that, that season would be different. David Randa just won a national championship with them guys the year before. He can be the one to rally them guys together. I know y'all pissed off at coach, but y'all know the standard of LSU. He could rally them guys together. You didn't have that.
But what you're not getting is Ed Orgeron is still the head coach.
You're right.
He's still the head coach of the football team. Bro, I don't want to go play for that guy.
Let's go play for the DC.
Let's
go
look
play
here.
for the DC then.
Hey, so Daniel, here, let's look at this. How the offense fell off. The offense had 34 points, right? Oh, but the defense gave up 44. The offense had 41, right? But it's Vanderbilt. Okay. The offense had 41. 45 because of the defense, right? All right. South Carolina, you put up 52. Then you go and get embarrassed by Auburn, only score 11.
On the road.
Then you got Arkansas, you put up 27. You almost lose that game because your defense gave up 24. Then you give up 20 to Texas A&M. Then you lose, you get embarrassed by Bama. Then you come back against Florida. You score 37, but the defense gives up 34. You know what I'm saying? But look at the games we lost. Look at the points we gave up, though, right? Then you come back against Ole Miss, you put up 53. The offense wasn't struggling. They had some games they didn't score a lot of points, but the offense wasn't struggling.
Okay, also look at
this. Hold on. Before I'm gonna let you go, but I want to point something out. True freshman quarterback, 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 true freshman quarterback. 13-year senior.
Hey, that's 32 points per game for those who counting at home.
Go to the teams who actually play defense and have a pulse. You couldn't do nothing. You couldn't do nothing on offense.
Okay, Daniel. Again. True freaking freshman. True freaking freshman.
Okay, hold on. I got you right here. I got you right here, bro.
We normally play great defense. You didn't do nothing against them.
Florida play good defense?
No. What are you talking about?
Florida don't play good defense. Now you capping.
Not
now
really.
you capping.
In 2020, LSU averaged 32 points a game. That was 6th in the SEC. 6th in the SEC.
That's great, man. Those first 4 games, those teams don't play defense, bro. They don't.
So I can go to Alabama's schedule and see whenever they play Vanderbilt, and then they do. You can do that for everybody, bro.
What are you talking about?
Everybody has games where they play teams that don't play defense. That happens to everybody.
Bro, they consistently don't play defense.
Florida just played Missouri. Do they consistently play defense?
No. Everybody has a one-off.
Okay. Kentucky, they play Kentucky. Do they consistently play good defense?
They have teams where they're good, but
they play Tennessee. Do they consistently have good defense?
No, they don't.
Okay, so 3 of their SEC opponents so far haven't played good defense, but you ain't saying nothing about Florida offense, are you?
I just said Florida's offense is either hit or miss.
Hey, so I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on because this is why.
Come on, Avenger Squad. Avenger Squad, mount up. Sorry, I can do it by myself. I'm good.
Mega Mind in control right now.
You wrong, but yeah, go ahead.
All right. Roughing the passer in the NFL. We've seen roughing the passer be changed games. The last, on Sunday it changed the game twice. 2 different games. Should roughing the passer
Monday too? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I said Sunday. This past week, I should say. Should roughing the passer be reviewable?
Yes. Based off of those last games this past week, yes.
Yep.
Based off the last 3 years.
But I think if you do it, it'll be like when they did pass interference, and it won't change nothing. They just gonna stick with the call on the field every time, pretty much.
Yeah.
I just think the refs are just doing too much whenever it comes to quarterback play, bro.
So the roughing the passer rules changed mid-season, changed after Tua got hit. Which Tua, the hit that put Tua out the second time wasn't a dirty hit.
The roughing the passer changed.
It's like it. So when I
know
say
the concussion protocol changed.
No. When I say changed, I don't mean
the way they call it changed.
Yeah.
I agree. I think they tried to overcorrect because of Tua hit. like that Tom Brady pen, that was not a flag,
bro.
dog.
But the thing about Tom
Even
Brady,
the-
they always
even
do
the
that
Tua
for
hit.
Tom Brady.
Well,
Even
actually, the numbers say otherwise on that Tom Brady. They always do it for him. But anyway,
Yeah. Even that time, I mean, the Tua hit, it wasn't what's called. It just so happened that
but that
his previous concussions and
yeah,
it was,
that same thing that Tom Brady got a flag for, that happened to Mahomes on, and then nothing got caught.
Right.
Exact same way.
Right.
it's an exciting game. It's halftime again in Washington versus Chicago. It's 3-0.
I was about to say you being sarcastic.
3-0. They literally have. They have been in
the
they have been in and out of the red zone several times, and picks are aplenty.
Would rather watch grass grow.
All right. Matt Rule was let go by the. I ain't gonna even say let go. They cut him, canned him, fired him, kicked him up out of there. Pack your bag. You gotta go.
That boy got fired on his off day.
Matt Rule was let go on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Not just him. They fired him. I fired the offensive coordinator and the I want to say special teams.
He goes to Auburn.
Mm-mm.
You don't think so?
A lot of people are saying, please stop that. Our guy Renaud came in and said, please, let's not do that. Let's stop that.
He's good, bro.
That boy going to Arizona State.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see it too.
I know we off this and this wasn't actually a topic, but I did look up famous football walk-ons and who it went on and do.
Please
good
don't
things.
say Rudy.
I was just about to say Rudy.
No, seriously. Clay Matthews.
Interesting.
Yeah, Clay Matthews was a dog.
That USC team was fucking loaded.
Jordan Nelson.
Wait, he went to like a small school though, huh?
Kansas State.
Oh, okay, and that's not who I was thinking about.
Jordan Nelson, Antonio Brown.
Yeah, Central Michigan.
JJ Watt.
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
But he was a 2-star coming out though.
He went to Central Michigan and played with Antonio Brown.
Right.
Then he left and walked on in Wisconsin.
Right.
Yeah, so and there's some other names on here
Baker.
that I didn't even recognize. It's a kicker on here too. That we do know, New England Patriots. Steven Gostkowski. Yeah, he was a walk on too.
Chan's dropping some knowledge. Kevin Green was a walk on.
That's a good one. Yeah, Baker.
Hey, you know who else was a walk on?
Who?
Eddie Robinson Jr.
He sure was. He was.
You talking about the one who said prime one sweat?
Sweat, baby.
Hey, I like that.
Don't count. It would have counted if we had good special teams against Florida State, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris, you are ridiculous, man.
Zay, Deion Sanders is a sweat walk on.
Hey, that's funny. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Hey, what Chris be smoking at home?
Turkey legs. Hey, let's.
Oh man!
Oh, bro.
All right. Let's go ahead and get up out of here.
Just had that one ready, dog.
Hey, just all right. But we'll be back Sunday after to give a recap of the game.
Hopefully we won.
We'll give a recap of the game. Might have some more exciting news for y'all too.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Golden Boot doing things. But that's it, fellas. Y'all got anything?
Nah, man.
Hey, like and share, please.
Hey, go
like, subscribe,
and all
share.
y'all on Facebook, go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel.
Right.
Please.
If y'all don't know how to do it, inbox and he'll walk you through it.
Hold up, bro. Don't be doing that.
Yeah.
But all right, like that, we out.
Y'all have a good one.
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe on Twitter at Golden Boot. On Instagram at Golden Boot. On YouTube at The Golden Boot Pod. On Facebook at The Golden Boot Pod.
Golden